What is going on YouTube? Brave Dave here, and I have an online battle here today where I play as the Alans and my opponent plays as the Western Roman Empire. So real nice guy. We actually had a good chat there, talking a little bit about how, actually my favorite comment was his first that said this game has evolved from a Bowie Eye sword spam to a Cav spam. So let's take a look. So as you can see, we both brought quite a bit of Cav, almost as much as we did every other unit. So that's pretty much what Attila is right now in online gameplay. So it makes kind of campaign gameplay a little more fun because you have a variety of units. So let's see what I brought. I brought an Alani General, which is a heavy shock Cav, as well as 5 Alani Horsemen, which are medium melee Cav, 2 on this side, 1 on the opposite. My front line consists of 4 Germanic Spears and 2 Sarmatian Warband on either side, which I found, and these are actually pretty awesome units. And then 1 Germanic Crossbow just to help clean up. This is actually very similar to another video I posted, almost the same build, except for instead of a crap general, I brought a shot Cav. Alright, my opponent brought, I believe, 4 Scole Palatine, which are medium melee Cav. Comes, which is a heavy melee Cav, as his general, and a Cataphractari as his medium shock Cav. So he as well brought 6 units of Cav. He's got 3 crossbow, so that was probably my biggest fear there at the beginning, was the fact that he had so many crossbow. I couldn't afford that. I don't know how he could, but yeah, that was very scary to me. As well as, looks like 4 Proctorus Domestici, which are very heavy melee infantry, so that was a little scary to me as well. So my first move was to maneuver all of my Cav around his flanks and come up behind. At which point I was like, okay, I'll move my infantry up a little bit and see what happens. And he just basically started boxing himself in, which was fine at that point. It gave me an opportunity to bring my cavalry around back and basically form a line in his rear. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so basically this was a standoff until I got into position, at which point he started moving forward. I braced my line for an incoming charge, as well as started taking aim with my crossbow. But unfortunately, they're such heavy units, it does very little damage. As you saw, there was several volleys into this unit with 0 losses. At which point he turns his crossbow around, which was fine with me. He gave me the ability to trade or get shots into his line, but again, it did no damage. There we go, I finally got the hit points down enough to where I could start taking some units out. He brings his crossbow back, which gave me the opportunity to start getting at his units, and the one I really wanted to focus on was this one right here, his general. So I believe I got 3 units into him to try to knock him out as soon as I could. When I noticed he wasn't charging his line, I figured the only way I was going to win that is to charge his line, move into it and charge it. So I put my Sarmatian Warband into frenzied charge, which is, I believe, what helped me win this battle, because again, they are all very heavy compared to my heavy. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention over here, and he was able to get a rear charge on my units, but I believe they still tank it out there. I was able to rout his general, which was good, and I'm just waiting to kill him to get the morale blow against him. He turns his crossbow, this is what I was afraid of, he turned his crossbow around and just starts unloading into my Cav. So I had to do something real quick, so I started charging my Cav into the units to try to get them to stop firing.
The enemy has killed our general.
At which point my general dies, and that was not good. Right behind their general dying, so both of our armies here are having morale blows. But I'm kind of scared because he is Rome, which means they have high morale units. But luckily, I believe what saved me here was the fact that I got the charge in. So charging does do does do very good damage, so you may always try to get the charge in. So I route his crossbowmen and start getting rear charges into his line, which at this point it just pretty much starts a mass rout. So I'm stuck with just these 3 cav units, and this one is going to go down pretty soon. And this is my problem right here. I got a little impatient, so I started mob lobbing him, hoping to catch his cav. But he was smart about it. He kept his cav moving. He kept him shaking. Actually, I lost this flank, which is a problem there. So he has 4 cav units that are going to be on the roam. And like I said, he was very smart about it. He kept it moving. He kept them darting. He kept them charging. And my issue was the blob attacks. I just blobbed everything. So I'm just waiting to take over this flank right here. Once I can get them to rout, I have these units free as well. Yeah, see, I have bad macro, and this was one of those moments. I didn't know what I was doing here. I just mob clicked everything, moved my crossbow out of range. I really need them around here taking some rear shots. And my opponent was real smart here. He noticed he had the cav advantage now, and he was going to come in here and do some rear charges on my line to try to rout them. Fortunately, right here I finally won that battle, so I was able to turn my units around to try to brace, but unfortunately right here my Starvation Warband starts to waver. And again, my Dramatic Spearmen start to waver and rout and are broken. So again, here's my bad macro mistake. I just blob attack everything here. And my opponent was real smart about it. He just kept dodging, darting. As you can see, he's waiting for my units to not pay attention, and he's going to charge them again. Alright, let's get some shots in here. So yeah, this was a bloody battle. I could have definitely played it better at the end. Well, what I think won it for me is my opponent's inability to decide what he was going to do with his crossbow. He had the huge advantage. If he would have just stood his ground and just like pelted my line, they would have been gone in a matter of minutes, because they didn't have nearly the armor that his units did. So yeah, if you remember, he turned them around and kind of started deciding whether he was going to shoot my cav or my infantry, and that indecision right there allowed me to get my cav into his and move my line up for a charge without any of them taking crossbow fire. And at that point, I won the battle. So, kind of a little bit to recap. Shout out to my opponent again. Real great guy, real nice. We had that talk about how this game has devolved from a bowie eye sword spam to a cav spam. And unfortunately, that's the level of online play right now. And I told him, if you don't bring 6 cav, basically you're going to be overrun every game. So unfortunately, that's what this game is right now. If they fix it or not, we will see. It's still very playable. It's still a fun game. So yeah, so great shout out to my opponent. It looked like this one unit and that unit did fantastic. About 500, a little over 500 kills combined. My line did okay. This one unit did amazing, and this one Starvation Warband did well. This one not as well. My crossbowmen, I think, were the ones who saved me at the end. They just kept pelting his cav until they routed. So yeah, his cav did pretty well as well. What I was really afraid of were his crossbow, but unfortunately I got my cav in there soon enough and routed them before they did damage. Alright, so that's the end of this gameplay. Be sure to check out other gameplays I will be posting. I'll try to post at least once a day. And I'm actually really excited. I saw the posting that I believe it's a Longbeard's unit pack is coming out. So we will have 3 more playable factions. So I'm excited about that. I will try to I kind of want to do a maybe a Longobard campaign. So wait and see if that's in the works. So I will catch you guys all next time.